Today on Shop Talk New Mexico, we sit down with Danelle and Roberto Gomez of Nurse Next Door here in Albuquerque to explore their journey into senior care, the inspiration behind bringing this franchise to the community, and how their team delivers happier aging through compassionate, tailored services that uplift clients, families, and caregivers alike.
Welcome to Shop Talk New Mexico, and today we are here at Nurse Next Door with Danelle and Roberto Gomez, and we're going to be discussing the home health business that they run here in Albuquerque. And I want to start with what inspired you to purchase this franchise and start it here in Albuquerque?
Probably the biggest thing for us is when we started looking into it and looking at the different options that were available, we saw Nurse Next Door as one of them, and they stood out from everybody else. The biggest thing is that bold pink color really shocked us, and we said, hey, this is different from everybody else. So we got curious, started looking into it, and then realized that in philosophy, that was the truth also. Their core values and their purpose matched what we believe in, and so that's how we ended up with Nurse Next Door.
Okay, so the overall appearance was what made it a good fit for you, would you say?
Yeah, the appearance of it, and then their purpose and values matched ours.
So, what did you do before getting into this business? Were you in home health at that time?
Well, myself, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've did some caregiving to my father-in-law. I cared for him until end of life. That was a great experience for me to connect with him and also to see the differences between good quality in-home care. As well as, we have a hobby farm, so I've cared for our animals, and I just really enjoy caring for other people. I'm very passionate about it, and so when we're getting kind of older, and our children are older, and so when we thought, well, we just didn't want to just sit around the house, and we wanted to have a purpose, and so that's what brought us into the Nurse Next Door, and to have our own business and be able to care for others as well. And I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the connections that I have with our clients as well as our caregivers.
Great. So are you mostly non-clinical, or do you have a balance of clinical and non-clinical services that you provide?
At the moment, we're non-skilled, so we focus on our happier aging philosophy, which really we try to get our clients back into doing the things that they still love. So we focus on that. We are here to support them with personal care. We do memory care, light housekeeping, meal prepping. We also help them with errands. We do transportation to and from doctor's appointments as well. We do look forward to building our business, and so we have recently hired on a nurse, and so we're going to be starting more medically directed services as well. Things like foot care, wound care, being able to do IVs, even some physical therapies in home. Those sort of services that we look forward to providing.
Sure. So you probably, when you branch off into skilled nursing care, mm-hmm. you probably have a lot of regulation hurdles that you have to overcome.
Yeah, probably the biggest hurdle is having that nurse on board. And so we were able to get connected with somebody who we're really excited to work with, and it will be nice because we can lean on her expertise in order to help manage the clinical side of the business.
Oh, very good. Very good. So you found somebody has a background in home health.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
Very good. So what would you say sets you apart from other home care services here in Albuquerque?
I think the biggest thing that sets us apart is the fact that we have our what we call perfect match, where we match our client to our caregivers, and our caregivers to our client, and so that helps provide that consistency that the clients, every one of them that we've had, is very appreciative of, because they don't have to have like a revolving door of caregivers coming through their home. They can really get to know the one caregiver, and we can provide that what we call wow customer experience for them, because we really get to know the client and we get to know their needs because of that consistent care with the same caregiver.
Right. And you provide respite services also.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
That's a big thing.
Yeah, and because we don't have minimum hours or contracts or anything like that, it's whatever the client needs. So we have a concierge level of service where whatever the client needs, we will try our best to meet that need, and that includes things like respite, where the primary caregivers at home don't want to give up caregiving of their loved one. They just need a break, and we can go in there and help them.
Sure. Yeah. Happier aging philosophy. Tell me about that.
Well, when we get our clients, we try to ask them little gems, we call it, and we try to get in curious about what hobbies they used to love doing. We ask them several questions as far as the activities they like, different types of meals, their favorite foods. And then what we do is when we hire on our caregivers, we also ask them those same things. And so when we get a client, we match them with our caregivers. And so they can build a companionship, friendship, and then, the caregivers can take them and, help them out with their hobbies. For an example, we had a client who really likes to golf, but he wasn't able to leave his home. So his caregiver went into the backyard and built a little putting course so that they could enjoy,
nice.
Playing golf together. And they really looked forward to their time to spend, so that sort of thing.
We try to find out what it is that people used to love doing that they're not doing anymore.
Sure.
And we get them back to doing them, even if it's not taking them out to in this example, taking them out to the golf course, but to have that little putting course in the back, right? And so, because we believe that people can age happily, and that's just doing those little small things like that really makes a huge difference.
No, absolutely. So, do you offer services as an adjunct to skilled services such as hospice?
Yes, so that would be because we don't provide full hospice care. A lot of times, the hospice agencies, which we've met a few actually today, that they're in need of caregivers, and so we're able to provide caregiving to their clients because the nurse can focus on those clinical duties within the home, and the caregivers can help with some of the other ancillary duties, like the housekeeping and the meal prep and the comfort care of the client.
Okay. Competition. When you're contracting or when you're seeking contracting with a healthcare organization such as Loveless or Presbyterian or the VA, for instance, do you find that you have any issues with being competitive in those markets, or do you seek other markets?
We go wherever. It's like what is it? We follow our nose, right? And so whatever leads show up, we follow those leads, because we're concierge level of service, we are very, very flexible. And so I think that is one of the things that helps. So we don't have to worry as much about, can we compete with somebody else using a different, price settings or a different business model. It's because we're able to be flexible, and the fact that we're able to be consistent and ever present for our clients, whether they're an institution or an individual person, that really helps set us apart. So, we don't even see the other agencies as competition, because we met with some of them today, and there's ways we can help each other. And so we don't mind. Everybody plays their part, and so we don't. We're happy to work with whoever.
Right. Sure. What about? Do you ever work with legal services such as personal injury attorneys, Medicare, Medicaid attorneys to do life care planning or any of that sort of thing for those clients?
We have tried to reach out a little bit to some of the attorneys in town. We haven't had any luck as of yet, but I think it's just the same thing that I just previously mentioned was, being able to be consistent and show up may help them feel more comfortable with starting to even make those discussions, because I'm sure that they've encountered situations in the past where they started trying to make relationships and that they didn't pan out. And so we're just going to keep doing what we do and try to be consistent with how we contact and how we meet these folks. And, eventually something will come along.
Right. So you're not wanting to spread yourself too thin.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That certainly does make sense. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've encountered in the 3 months that you've been doing this?
I guess just really building our client base since we're so new. Just getting our name out there. We've been doing a lot of events, farmers markets, and that's how we met.
Right.
So, and that's actually how we've gotten quite a few clients as well, just being out there. I do what I call my routes, and I'll drive around either on the west side or the east side, and I'll stop by the different facilities, the assisted living, the 50 plus communities. And we call it our Poppin' In with Popcorn campaigns. So I go in there and I bring them some popcorn from Carnivores.
Oh, how nice.
And so, just getting our name out there and building trust and letting them know that we are consistent and, we're here to help their clients and residents any way that we can. And so I guess that would be, I think, the most...
I think that's the biggest challenge there.
Biggest challenge
is changing the mindset of the folks who we've encountered, because we are different. It takes them a little while before they realize that we're different. And so at first they just assume we're just like everybody else, and we get the okie dokes. But after showing up consistently and talking to these people and meeting with the decision makers, over time we've been able to educate.
Yeah, our hard work is starting to pay off. We've been getting in with a lot of the different retirement communities now. They've been asking us to come and host different events like bingos and happy hours, and so it's been really fun that way. And soon we'll be able to help out the VA clients as well at the end of October. So that's going to be a huge, probably a huge leap for us to get in with the VA, I believe, because we do have the connections that we have expressed a huge need for our services, especially because we do match caregivers with clients, and the clients really appreciate having that one-on-one caregiving than the experiences they're having now where they kind of have to rotate through the different caregivers.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are really excited to work with us, especially in the VA field.
Well, the VA, that's a very big bite of the apple right there.
Yeah.
It certainly is. How's the Albuquerque community responded in general to the services that you've been offering? Have you found them to be receptive?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty positive. I mean, I think we kind of surprise people sometimes, and it's a positive surprise. They tend to be very happy and appreciative and express a lot of gratitude for the type of care that we're providing. And so I haven't encountered any kind of negativity. Even like you mentioned before with competition, everything's always been very positive. So we have been blessed with that.
That's good. So just prior to our little get together here, you were doing an interview for an employee.
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of qualities do you look for in a caregiver when you're selecting them for a position with your company?
Probably the biggest thing is people who are self-led, people who don't need to be micromanaged, who know who they are, know where they're going, and know what they want out of life. And that really helps because then we can focus on the caregiving portion of their job rather than a lot of the other stuff that should be already baked in. And so we're looking for that type of person because, we're really, when we can do that, we can really focus on celebrating them being a caregiver and caregiving as a career. So that's probably the biggest thing we're looking for.
Right. Well, I've been doing several interviews with new startups, and one thing that I have noticed is the level of enthusiasm that you all seem to have. Real go-getters, and you haven't seen anything so far that is discouraging.
No, I mean, I guess this goes back to some of the education and the change in the way that caregiving has traditionally been done. Sometimes there's some hurdles for our caregivers to overcome to understand the different way we do business here at Nurse Next Door. Matching a caregiver where we don't, cycle them through just on a shift basis. We assign them to or match them to a client, and then that's their client, and those are their visits and their hours that they get, and it's a little bit different in that respect. And then
and just in interviewing the different caregivers, a lot of them expressed how different we are and how thorough we are. The things that we offer them, we offer premium wage. We also offer ongoing training, several certifications that they can gain through Nurse Next Door. We also do several background checks. We do a nationwide, we do the FBI fingerprinting, and then we also do the caregiving abuse registry as well. So all of our caregivers are, fully vetted and, made sure that they're, a higher quality thing is.
Well, the main thing is so that you can provide that level of comfort and relief to the family members who love their mother, their father, their grandmother, their grandfather, to know that they're going to be in hands of somebody who will be safe and will treat them with respect and will help them live that happier life.
And also, too, with Nurse Next Door, we have an NPS system where our clients get to score their caregivers, and then the caregivers get to score us. So we definitely want a 9 to a 10, and that's what we've been getting. So all of our caregivers have been getting 10s, and we've been getting 10s from our caregivers.
Our clients,
sorry. And so
that's great. That's great. So it's kind of like the Press Ganey surveys that the hospitals have. And
absolutely.
Yes. Well, that's good to hear that you've got good scores, and you can use those scores and compare them to other companies of your type in the local area
Mhm.
and say, see, this is how our numbers match up to their numbers.
Yeah.
And so yes, and people look at those, they really do. And one organization that looks at that is CMS. CMS looks at that when it comes to granting accreditation for Medicare. And so with Medicare, that's one of those that you certainly don't want to lose if you're in the healthcare game. What's a success story that you have?
We have one client. She came into our care through a relative who had visited us at the farmers market. The relative was kind of at their wits' end. The care for the client was very difficult and challenging and stressful, and we were able to come in and help alleviate all of the stress that not just the family member, but other people, neighbors and friends and everybody that was kind of piecing it together to take care of this person. We were able to come in and act as the hub for the client and taking care of all of their needs. And the relative has expressed to us how much of a difference it's made, not just for them, but for the client themselves. The client is now in a situation where they're happy and they're comfortable and they're not stressed out and they're able to just relax and enjoy their day.
And that's the goal.
And that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we even did things like, helping them get their plumbing fixed and the refrigerator brought in and replaced, and just above and beyond to just make sure that person can be comfortable at their own home.
Oh, well, very good. That's the goal. That's what you aim for. So, okay. Well, I think we're going to leave it here, and I wanted to let you know that it's been a wonderful talking with you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I will have this online probably within the next day or two.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Roberto,
Yeah, it's so nice to
Danelle,
meet you.
very nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you so much.